Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Anime Sundays, the show where we talk about anime on Sundays. And today we will be doing an anime aura tier list. Stay tuned. All right, as you heard, we do have a tier list by an anime Twitter page, Mr. Obscurity. The caption is objectively correct MC aura tier list. Now, we know nowadays the kids, the millennials, whatever, Gen Z, have a kind of new definition of aura, right? A lot of people kind of refer to Riz or just like, you know, something they may see online of celebrities that they know, influencers that they know, kind of give you the term that it's just that overall energy, that vibe, that presence that they have when they're around other people, right? Now, we know for anime characters, it's a little different, right? Some of these characters actually have aura that can be literally kind of quantified or put into a position in their verse, right? I.e. Haki, Chakra, Ki, whatever. But I think you could even separate that a little bit from the actual aura that the internet refers to when we're just kind of talking about day-to-day people, right? So we're gonna go through the tier list and I'm gonna tell you if I agree with this character being in this level of aura or if they should be moved or what have you. Let's get right into it. All right, in the top row, Aura God, we have Luffy, Tanjiro, Gojo, and it looks like old boy from Classroom of the Elite. I don't watch the show, so I don't know his name. I would say I agree with Luffy's aura being Aura God. I mean, anytime Luffy walks anywhere in the One Piece world, heads turn, people follow him. I mean, he literally has Conqueror's Haki, so his aura is literally knocking people out. And it's just, you know, even the enemies are always kind of stunned at the feats that Luffy can go through. So I always feel like Luffy's aura is definitely something to be reckoned with. Now, is he got the best aura in the show? Probably not. I would feel like in terms of what we're talking about, Shanks would probably be like his equivalent to the Aura God. We know when Shanks pull up, admirals run, wars stop. It's just kind of like a little different level, right? Tanjiro. Now, Tanjiro's aura in his show, I wouldn't say is Aura God. I would maybe take it a step down. I feel like maybe some of the Hashiras like a Rengoku or Gyome, or like even when Muzan, you know, when they walk in the building, their aura gets crazy. Akaza, you know what I mean? People start really like running, hiding, sounding the alarm. Tanjiro comes around, only a few people are kind of like, oh, there goes Kamado. There goes that ear, you know, the earring guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I would necessarily have Tanjiro's this high up. Gojo, yes, I definitely would have Gojo in this list. I mean, everybody knows when Gojo pulls up on a cursed spirit, you're like, good night. You know, they build veils just for Gojo. They make sealing techniques just for Gojo. And even now in the manga, his fighting, his presence, the way everybody was relying on him, I feel like, yeah, if there's somebody that we would refer to in kind of like Gen Z terms as an Aura God, it's definitely Gojo. And the Classroom of the Elite character, I don't know, so y'all let me know. All right, next row, we have Insane Aura. We got Jotaro, Asta, Subaru, Ichigo, and Saitama. I would say a lot of these guys got great aura. I'm definitely gonna disagree on Subaru and definitely Asta. I feel like Asta, at least in the anime, his presence isn't that regarded to where when he's pulling up or when he's on the battlefield, everybody's like, oh, it's game over, we're safe. The mood doesn't change. I feel like when you're talking about aura in our sense and in anime sense, the whole overall mood kind of has to change. And I still think Asta's a little underrated in his anime in terms of like the other characters around him. Subaru, yeah, get Subaru out of here. I mean, honestly, if there's anybody on this list that's aura less, it'd probably be him. He doesn't turn any heads in his anime. He's hardly ever regarded to as like the hero they need. I mean, there's just a lot of luck in Subaru's sense. And to be honest with you, it's just not, I mean, to have him this high up on the tier list, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. You can tell he's not one of my favorite MCs. Now, Jotaro, I can see still being, you know, in this list. His aura is pretty dominant in his verse. I wouldn't say it's Dio level, but he does get a lot of things done. People do know Jotaro in his verse, the stand verse, especially after part 4 and part 6. But I don't think I would say it's like insane, you know what I mean? There's still stand users that will run up on Jotaro, no problem, and won't bat an eye, right? And of course, Ichigo, you know, his aura is up there. I mean, anytime he enters the battlefield, Hollow, Quincy, Shinigami, everybody's turning heads. Everybody's like, oh, we feel that. We know the main characters here. I mean, he walks in and everybody's feels like it's the best day of their life, right? Not to mention that he does have such great spiritual pressure, so you could literally equate his aura to something. So yeah, he definitely belongs in this list. He definitely belongs in this bracket. And Saitama, I feel like Saitama doesn't belong in this bracket. His aura really isn't up there like that. I don't know about the manga, but a lot of characters in the anime still don't really respect Saitama. They still don't really see him as like a super powerful hero. He's not really known to be that strong. We just know from our perspective how powerful he really is. But he's not like the guy that when he walks in, the villains start trembling. He's always kind of underestimated. So I would say he really doesn't have like good aura in terms of what we're talking about or what it means in the anime. Okay, mid aura. We have old boy from Hellsing. I haven't finished Hellsing, but I don't know if bro's aura is mid. I mean, he is, a pretty scary character. Villains know him. He's immortal. People get scared when he's around. There's a chill in the air. So I wouldn't say his aura is mid. You know what I mean? He does have that super bloodlust to him. So I could give him a little bit more sauce. Thorfinn, now, if you're saying Thorfinn older, his aura is mid, I kind of understand. But I would actually take him out of the mid aura category if you're talking about younger Thorfinn. Anytime Thorfinn got into a battle, people knew what was about to go down. People could tell how experienced he was, how much of a killer he was, the trauma that he had. People knew that they were like, oh yeah, this kid is kind of serious. He may really mess me up. So I wouldn't say as a youngin he was like had mid aura. He had a little bit of presence to him. Now Guts, again, I haven't finished Berserk. I know in his other kind of final form he's going a lot harder. So I don't know if I would say his aura is mid. Maybe the stuff that he went through beforehand with Griffin and all that might have diminished his aura, but I'm not sure how he really deals with the regular day-to-day enemies in his life. So I don't know if I'd take him out of mid aura or not, but I probably would move up a little bit. And then Giorno, yeah, I definitely would take Giorno out of mid aura. I mean, old boy is, now at the end of part 5, a mob boss. He has GER, so everybody knows as a stand user, you can't really mess with Giorno. And just as a mob boss, when he walks in the room, heads are kneeling down, people know what's going on, right? Plus the swag's through the roof. Yeah, I would definitely take him out of mid aura as well. All right, now we get to a molecule of aura. This is a crazy category. Like, I just feel like we're going so large here with the gaps of the names. Lucy, a molecule of aura. I mean, I guess I'm not mad at that. Lucy is just a dainty, fine girl. She comes around, nobody's breaking a sweat. Molecule of aura is crazy. Natsu, I gotta disagree. If Natsu goes E&D mode, people were shook. People in the magic world were like, oh yeah, it's troublesome. And now Natsu's kind of like a famous wizard. People will be looking for Natsu. They hear about Fairy Tail. They're like, oh, that's Natsu Dragneel. So I wouldn't say bro's auraless, especially when he gets fired up, when he really pours on the heat, people start feeling it. You could tell his magic power is really through the roof. Again, he's not the Gildarts of his universe, so it's not like when he walks around people are like, oh wow, this is real presence. But Natsu does have a strong aura, a strong presence, and a lot of magic enemies know it. So I would at least take him up to mid aura or good aura. I don't know why there's not like a space between insane and good, or insane and mid, but whatever. Light Yagami, I mean, his whole purpose was hiding his aura, so I guess I can agree with that. Not gonna spend too much time on that. All right, next up we have Naruto Uzumaki. I don't know, I feel like even when Naruto was a kid, to say a molecule of aura is definitely downplaying it. The Nine Tails being inside him already just contains a certain level of aura, even as a child. When he walks around, the aura of hate is on him. The villagers hate to see bro. They hate to see him coming. When he gets angry, the people realize his chakra is uncontrollable and they may die. And when he's the Hokage, anybody with any type of sensual jutsu at all can tell like, oh yeah, this is no joke. We can feel the beast inside him. So I would say that, now he has no Kurama. So if you're saying now Naruto is auraless or has a molecule aura, I can get it. But as a Hokage teenager, I would definitely at least put him in mid aura. He does have a good amount of presence. People know when Naruto comes around, who that is, what he's trying to get done, and to be careful, which is the main point. Goku, I mean, yeah, y'all gotta be kidding me here. Goku, a molecule of aura. Sure, Goku may not walk up on the scene like, oh yeah, who is the big bad wolf? But a lot of people, when they see Goku for the first time, they can tell he's strong. And when he powers up even a little bit, most enemies automatically give them his respect. You know what I'm saying? And especially when he was UI Goku, if that wasn't max aura, I don't know what is. I would definitely put him in insane aura category, even up there with the God aura, because he does have God Ki. And then even in his show in the younger days, when he pulled up on the scene, everybody was like, oh yes, thank God Goku's here, right? You could just tell that mood of air relaxed a little bit. Then we have Joseph with a molecule of aura. I guess it depends how you look at it. Joseph, I mean, he was a man that was crafty, wanted to get things done the easiest way possible. But Simone was strong. In his verse, he did great things. But yeah, I don't think he does have that much aura, so I'm not mad at leaving him in that category either. Now, auraless. Now, if Yuji is kind of referred to like in any regards like Yuta, where he has a cursed spirit with him at all times, then this is not correct. that means anybody who could really sense curse energy would know that Yuji has Sukuna in him. And again, it's kind of the nine-tail effect. We got to be careful. Watch out. This man could be a problem without even knowing him. Now, is he auraless to some of the enemies? Probably. Like, Sukuna doesn't give a damn about him. A lot of characters are like, please get this guy out of my face. Like, he thinks he's strong, but he's no Gojo. But I don't know if he's auraless. Eren Yeager, auraless. I mean, he definitely has no swag. He is the world-renowned, you know, titan of history. People are looking at Eren like, oh yeah, Eren Yeager, the big bad wolf, is coming to kill us all. You know, saying Eren Yeager's name, especially Marley, was traumatizing, even before he did the rumbling. So I wouldn't say he's auraless. I would definitely knock him up a couple notches. He definitely may not be like a Levi or like a Erwin, you know, when he walks in the room, everybody just automatically commands the respect. There is a sense of danger and a sense of like kind of myth behind who he is. Puts people into shape when you say his name. Kaneki, auraless. It's been a while since I watched Tokyo Ghoul. I kind of agree with this a little bit. I feel like, you know, Ken Kaneki was underrated throughout the entire show, even when he was an adult. And yes, he does have his berserk moments, but I still don't feel like it really aids his aura when he walks into a room at all. Now, Mob, I gotta disagree. Mob is definitely not auraless when he starts cranking up. Yes, he is a young, you know, nobody looking scrub kind of kid who telepathic spirits or what have you, psychic spirits, will be like, oh yeah, this kid's trash. But as soon as Mob starts to turn up his abilities, like even a little bit, everybody's like, oh, my fault. You know, especially when he gets angry. When you get to start to get to 100%, it's like, oh, every Esper within a 50-mile radius can feel Mob's aura. So auraless, I don't think so. I feel like you could definitely at least do mid-aura or, you know, a little bit higher even. Now, Shinra auraless, that's a tough one. I'm sure in the manga, he's got a way upgrade. He's got a very serious upgrade in the manga. In terms of the battles and the, you know, interactions he's had with the characters now, I feel like his aura really only is dominant when he's actually in mid-battle. When he gets on the scene, no, you don't really sense that he's too powerful or whatever. And even with characters that are just as strong as him, they don't really be kind of worried about him. Just kind of, they recognize his potential, but that's about it. Now, we know like Benimaru would probably be the one with the most aura in his verse. We know when he comes into play, people are like, oh, it's the strongest fire soldier. You know, a Burns. You know, when he puts that defense on, it's like, oh yeah, we might be in trouble, right? And Jinwoo from Solo Leveling, I feel like he started out auraless, but now he's definitely ranking his way up to being, you know, pretty swagged out contender. So I would probably move him up as well. All right, negative aura. Now we're just getting disrespectful. You got Boruto, Deku, Gon, Jonathan, and Josuke. Boruto in the manga, I feel like his aura is not negative anymore. I feel like he's definitely on his Sasuke level type aura. So I would definitely take him up a little bit. In the anime, yeah, he's not really anybody that villains have kind of really even gave notice to. Deku, I feel like I kind of would disagree with Deku, especially in the manga as well. And even in the anime now, like, Deku is the one everyone's eyes are on. Deku is the one where he's angry and he's on the scene. Yeah, you feel it. You know something's about to go down. Even in his vigilante mode, Deku's aura was through the roof with that. You didn't know if he was a hero or not. Gon, I wouldn't say Gon's auraless. I would say Gon is definitely got good aura. As soon as he walks into the building, if he just gets a little upset, everybody's like, oh yeah, this man's Nen is a ticking time bomb. You know what I'm saying? Especially in his adult form. Yeah, he's happy-go-lucky most of the time, but a lot of people could tell that there's a lot of great strength in Gon and his potential, the way he walks, the way he talks. He's kind of gives me like mini Luffy vibes, right? I mean, they do have the same birthday. So I would definitely move Gon way up out of that list. Now, Jonathan, I mean, Jonathan had like that gentleman's aura. I felt like Jonathan had a very reliable aura, and even discovering Hamon. I mean, I feel like saying he's auraless, I wouldn't do that to him either. Now, Josuke, he could be a little auraless. He's kind of corny to me. So I'm not super mad at that being where he is. And then lastly, you have the Epstein aura. Of course, all these, I don't know why Yuta's in this list, but we know probably why Meliodas, old boy from Jobless, is in here. Questionable ethics in terms of the women they date. So I'm just gonna leave that category alone and let everybody stay there. All right, y'all, so that's the aura tier list. Again, we know the Gen Zs have a different meaning of aura. I try to do my best to let you know how I feel about the characters ranked. Some of them I agree with, a lot of them I don't. But yeah, if you disagree or agree with some of these takes, let me know in the comment section what characters you would also want to see in different categories here, and we'll see y'all next Sunday.